That's it, thank you. So, morning, Michelle, just recording for you. So we're going to start in Tadasana. So just come to your mats. And let's find our Tadasana. So just have a little roll back and forth on your feet. Just ease into this pose. And lift your toes a few times. And then really spread them on the mat. So really feel as though you're connected. So your feet are about hip distance apart. And then work your way up your body, just easing into this pose. When you do Tadasana, you want to feel really strong and steady, but relaxed at the same time. So soften your knees. Coming up to your hips, so make sure your hips are facing forward. Slightly engage your tummy muscles. Relax your shoulders down. And just let your arms hang here alongside your body. So have your chin parallel to the floor. And just soften your gaze, or you may even want to close your eyes. And if that means when you've got your eyes closed that you're wavering a little bit, you feel that there's a bit of a sway coming in, that's fine. But just try and contain it. Try not to let it get out of control. But if that means that you're tensing up any part of your body, then focus on that and try and release it. So we tend to lock our knees when we do this. So try and release your knees. So feel that you're standing here really strong and tall. Feel that connection with your feet into the mat. And send the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Breathing in through the nose. Out through the nose. Just let everything settle. So this week we're going to carry on with a little bit of work on our backs. So just being mindful of our backs. And our theme is Svadhyaya, which is one of the Niyamas. And it means know one's own self. So don't ever do anything that doesn't feel right when you're doing a yoga class. So if we're doing a back bend and you don't feel like doing that back bend, then ease off. You know your own body. And we're working towards Locust Pose, which is Salabhasana. And again, there's lots of little options with that. So only do what's right. So take another deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose. And then with your next exhalation, drop your chin to your chest. Find that lovely stretch at the back of the neck. So as your chin is dropping to your chest, at the same time, try and send your hands closer to the mat. So you're really stretching through the shoulders. And then as you inhale, lift your head and blink your eyes open. Welcome to class. So let's get some movement. As you inhale, reach your hands up, reaching up to the ceiling, Urdhva. So keeping that length and reaching out from the shoulders. As you exhale, just add in a side bend. So you're doing that crescent shape. So your right hip goes out to the side and you're crunching the left side of the body, opening the right side of the body. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over to the left. So that same feeling, your left hip goes out to the side, you're bringing your right ribs down towards your right hip. Keeping that length in the spine. Inhale, back to center. Let's go once more. Exhale, over to the left. Really keep your feet planted here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the right. Oh, it's a nice stretch, a nice opening through the side body. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release your hands and have a little shrug of the shoulders. So let's ease them out, lifting them up and around, and then send them in the other direction. Might be some clicks and clinks. And then let your shoulders relax, and then just drop your chin to your chest and get some movement into your neck. So as you inhale, sweep it up towards your right shoulder. Exhale it back to center. Inhale, sweep it up to the left. Exhale back to center. So lift your head on your inhalation, keeping your chin parallel to the floor. And as you exhale, just lift the chin. So that doesn't mean crunching the back of the neck. You're lifting and lengthening the neck. And then exhale and release. Well done. So let's do a little flow. Seeing how our backs are feeling. So we're going to stand towards the top of the mat. Find your Tadasana. Taking a deep breath in, sweep your hands out wide, reaching up to the ceiling. Exhale all the way down through the midline, down to the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. So just take your fingertips to the mat here and bend the knees and alternate one knee, then the other. Just easing out into those hamstrings. This is what I've been doing for the last couple of days because my hamstrings got as tight as anything from cycling. And then allow your legs to come towards straight, but you're not locking the knees back. Your hands are towards the mat, hands or fingertips, whatever is right for you. And then with your inhalation, see if you can start to lengthen through the back of the legs, lifting the hips up to the ceiling and allowing the hands to come towards the mat. So just getting a nice stretch through the backs of the legs into the hamstrings. And then on your next inhalation, slide your hands up to your shins. Find that half forward fold. Exhale all the way back, Uttanasana. Inhale and take your hands out wide, coming up with a strong straight spine, reaching up and overhead. Take your hands up to the ceiling, your gaze is to your hands. And as you exhale, if you feel that your back is ready, just add a mini back bend here. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release your hands to the heart center. So let's give that another go. So taking a breath in, reach the hands out wide, up and overhead. Exhale all the way down through the midline, down to the mat, Uttanasana. So fingertips or hands to the mat. Drop the top of the head towards the mat. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins, half forward fold. Exhale, slide your hands back to Uttanasana. Inhale, take your hands out wide, strong, straight spine, lifting yourself up and away from the mat. Reaching up and overhead. Exhale, mini back bend. Inhale back to center. Exhale your hands to the heart center. So just let everything settle. Take a breath here. And then inhale, take your hands up and overhead. Exhale all the way down to the mat. This time, bending your knees, release your legs, one then the other. Come down to the mat into all fours. Well done. So we're going to go through another little sequence, just easing out the spine. So find your all fours, your hands are under your elbows, your shoulders even, your knees are under your hips, and really spread the hands wide here. So your toes can be into the mat, so your legs feel quite strong. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, round the back into startled cat. So open the spine here, opening the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, coming down into cow. So you lead in with your chin and your chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, come back to all fours. Now this time, as we exhale, you're just going to walk your hands forward along the mat until you can rest your forehead down. So we're coming into puppy dog pose. Anahata Asana. Keep your hips up to the ceiling. So a lovely stretch through the arms all the way to the underarm area. Inhale and walk your hands back to all fours position. And then as you exhale, send your one leg back and then your other leg. You're in plank. So see if you can find that long straight line from the back of the head, down the spine, down to the heels. Inhale. Exhale, knees to the mat. Return to your all fours. So we're going to repeat that little sequence again. So all fours position. Make sure you're lined up. Take a breath in. Exhale, round the spine. Cat pose. Remember, our toes are into the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, lead with the chin and the chest. Send your hips up to the ceiling. Cow pose. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Inhale, bring yourself back upright. And then as you exhale, walk those hands out once more. Sinking your forehead down to the mat. Remember, you've always got the option of the forehead going on a block here as well. So reaching forward with the hands, feeling that stretch all the way into the underarm area and down your back. Well done. Inhale, bring yourself back to all fours. We're going to exhale to plank, so step back with the other leg this time. So left leg to right and right leg, if that was your opposite. We always tend to do things in the same way, so try and mix it up a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, knees to the mat. Come back to your all fours. So let's add a little bit more in this time. So we're in our cat-cow position, toes are into the mat. Take a breath here. Exhale, cat. Back should be starting to feel a little bit freer now. Inhale. Exhale, cow. And lead with that chin and chest. Send your hips up to the ceiling. Inhale, come back to all fours. Exhale, toes into the mat. Lift your knees, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Have a little walk with your feet, one heel, then the other. Easing out into that down dog. Just let your head drop through your arms. Your ears are in line with your inner arms. And then let your heels settle towards the mat. Just find that lovely stretch. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, shift your weight forward into plank. You might need to take your feet a little bit further away. So find your plank position. You can always plank on your knees. Otherwise, if this is feeling okay, we're going to lower ourselves to the mat. So two options. You can just bend your elbows and lower, or you can do your knees to the mat, cross your feet at the ankles, and then lower yourself. So you decide. So take a breath in, exhale and lower. Try not to just smash yourself down on the mat. So we're back into our low plank position here. We're resting the chest on the mat. So take a breath in. And as you exhale, toes into the mat, bring yourself back up to plank. Take a breath in here. Exhale, knees to the mat. Come back to your all fours position. Ready for another cat-cow. So take a breath in. Exhale, round the back. Inhale. Exhale, down into cow. Inhale. Bring yourself back to all fours. And exhale, just sit back onto your heels. Just release your wrists here. And have a little shrug of the shoulders. This is quite strong on the upper body, but it's really strengthening for the back when we do these moves. So we're going to try it again. Just have a little moment to let everything settle. And then bring yourself back to all fours. So find that all fours position, toes into the mat. So take a breath in here, round the back, cat pose. So really feel as though you're pressing the mat away from you. Feel the shoulder blades opening. Inhale, exhale, cow. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale to all fours. So setting yourself up to come up to downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift your knees, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Bring your feet in a little closer if you need to. So let's add in an extra little move. So as you inhale, come up onto your toes. And as you exhale, drop your heels over to the left so that your feet are now tracking one behind the other. Just a little twist. Inhale, come back up onto your toes. Exhale, drop them over to the right. Inhale, back up onto your toes. Exhale, let your heels come towards the mat. Inhale, shift your weight forward. You're back into plank. Reposition your feet if you need to. And as we exhale, we're going to lower to the mat. Remember the two options, just bend your elbows or knees to the mat, cross your feet at the ankles, lower yourself down. Your choice. So inhale, exhale, lower yourself to the mat. Just take a breath here. Inhale, toes into the mat. Exhale, back to plank. Inhale, exhale, knees to the mat. Back to our cat-cow. So take a breath in here. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, exhale to cow. Inhale, bring yourself back upright. Exhale, take your knees wide, toes together, sink your hips back and reach your hands forward along the mat. Nice stretch in Balasana, child's pose. Just let everything settle. But feel into your spine here. Can you feel how you're easing your spine, opening the spine this morning? And then slowly bring yourself back upright. Well done. So we're going to do a little breathing practice now. Is everybody okay? Yeah, I'm getting thumbs up, good. So just find yourself a comfortable seat. And we're just going to do our Viloma breathing practice, which is like an alternate nostril breathing. But this one is cooling and uplifting. And it said that this helps to refresh you and to release stress and anxiety. So it's a really good one to do sort of mid-practice or right at the beginning of the practice, because it helps you then to get into the rest of the practice. So to do Viloma breath, we find our comfortable seat. I'm just perched on my block here. You sit with your legs in whichever way is comfortable for you. They can be out in front, you can be kneeling, whatever's right for you. So with Viloma breath, we inhale through one side and then we exhale through both. But before we do anything with our hands, let's just give our hands a little bit of attention. So just first of all, have a little wiggle of your fingers and just ease out with your wrists. Maybe rotate your wrists as well. And then just take some attention to your fingers. So using the thumb and the first finger of the one hand, just give the thumb of the other hand a nice rub up and down, and then move on to the first finger. So you're working your way. It's almost like you're pulling those fingers, just easing out any tension, any stress there. Working our way through all of the fingers. We don't give our hands much attention, so this is a really good thing to do. And then once you've rubbed them all, go back to the thumb and then just sort of give it a bit of a loose wiggle, like you're just freeing it from the joints, and then do the same with all of the fingers. Just giving them a little bit of a waggle here. And then we need to move to the other side. So using the thumb and the finger of your left hand, rub the right thumb, then the first finger. So, you know, be quite strong with this. Giving the fingers a little bit of a pull as you do it. And then return to the thumb, give it a waggle. And then the finger, middle finger, clicks. and the little finger, the fourth finger, and then the little finger. And then just let them, just, give them a little bit of movement here, and your wrists. So your hands should be feeling a little bit freer now. So we're going to use our right thumb and our first finger to control, our right thumb and our fourth finger to control the opening and closing of the nostrils. And your first two fingers are just going to rest on your forehead. Your little finger doesn't do anything. And just let your left hand just rest on your thigh. So below the breath, inhale through the left nostril, just letting the breath flow, no throat control. And as you exhale, you add in your ujjayi breath. So there's some throat control on the exhalation. And then we inhale through the right with no control, and we exhale through both. Okay, so let's do a few rounds. So leave your first two fingers on your forehead, right thumb hovering over your right nostril, right fourth finger on your left nostril. Just sit for a moment, just let everything settle. And when you're ready to start, plug your left nostril with your fourth finger. Breathe in through the right nostril. Release the left nostril, breathe out with ujjayi breath. Both nostrils. Plug the right nostril, breathe through the left. No throat control. Breathe out through both, ujjayi breath. Breathe in through the right. No throat control, just let the breath flow. Breathe out through both. Breathe in through the left. Breathe out through both. So you continue at your own pace. You're just going to do a few more rounds. So as you breathe in, you're just letting the breath gently flow in. And as you breathe out with your ujjayi breath, that's Darth Vader breath, it's a bit stronger and you're working on extending your exhalation. Breathing in, breathing out. Just a few more. Does it feel cooling, energizing, and refreshing? So the next time you breathe out through your left, next time you've inhaled through your left and you breathe out through both, just let your breath return to normal and release your hands to your thighs. And just sit for a moment. Just observing the effect of that breathing practice. Let's go back to some movement. So bring yourself back to an all fours position. So we're going to see, do we feel any difference? Does our head feel clearer? Sometimes your nose feels a little bit clearer. You feel like you're ready to do this practice now. So from your all fours position, we're going to repeat that last little section. So toes into the mat. Find your all fours. Take a breath in. Exhale to cat. Breathing in. Exhale to cow. Just noticing, do you feel any different? Inhale to all fours. Exhale to plank. So find that strong plank. Inhale. We're going to exhale and lower to the mat. Your choice whether your knees are on the mat or not. Exhale. Take a breath here. Inhale, toes are into the mat. Exhale, lift into plank. Inhale. Exhale, knees to the mat, back to your all fours. Take a breath here. Inhale, round to cat. Take a breath. Exhale, cow. Well, I don't know about you, but I definitely feel a bit freer now. Inhale, back to all fours. And just take a breath here. So on your next inhalation, you're going to step your right leg through your hands. So keeping your left knee down on the mat, keep your left toes into the mat. Inhale and bring yourself up. Lifting your chest, hands are to the heart center. So as you exhale, take your left elbow to your right thigh, twist into the side and sending your right elbow up to the ceiling. So adding in this nice little twist. So you can stay here, or if you want to add a little bit more of a challenge, take a breath in, and as you exhale, lift your back leg. So the weight goes into that front leg, lift the back leg. And then take your gaze back to your right foot on the mat. Exhale the knee back to the mat. If you straighten the leg, release your hands. Release that front leg. Let's go back to our cat-cow. So take a breath in. Exhale to cat. Inhale. Exhale to cow. Inhale back to center. Exhale, step your left foot forward through your hands. So your back toes are into the mat, there's strength there. Inhale as you lift your chest and hands come to the heart center. So it's a little bit of a balance, so don't be surprised if you're feeling a little bit wobbly here. Just see if you can ground into the mat. Inhale, exhale, right elbow to left thigh. So twisting and opening to the left side. So your palms are coming together. Feel that your palms are in the middle of the chest. I'm just switching around so you can see me better. So your palms are sitting in the middle of your chest. Keeping that length in the spine. If you want to add a little bit more of a challenge, inhale, weight into the left foot, exhale, lift the right leg. Just find your focus and that will keep you balanced. Inhale, exhale, take your gaze to your left toes and release your knee to the mat. Come back to cat-cow to release that left leg. All fours position. Inhale, exhale, cat. Inhale, Exhale to cow. Inhale. Exhale, sink back to Balasana, child's pose. So take your knees wide, reach your hands forward along the mat. Sink your hips back. Well done. So taking a breath in, bring yourself up to all fours and realign your knees. So we're going to come into our Salabhasana, Locust Pose. So just release your knees back behind you so that you can lower your hips down to the mat. And then slide your hands out in front of you so your chest and your chin come down to the mat. You can rest your forehead on the mat if that feels better. Find that length through the back of the neck. So at the moment, your palms are facing down and your fingers are spread wide. See if you can reach your hands any further forward along the mat. So really find some length and send the tops of your feet away so you're really stretching through the body. And then engage your tummy muscles. So feel how your tummy comes away from the mat. We're resting on our hip bones here. Inhale. And as you exhale, can you lift your hands just a few inches away from the mat? Your gaze is still to the mat. And then release. Let's try that once more. Inhale. Can you lift your hands? And then release. So keeping your forehead in contact with the mat. We're going to try with our feet this time. Both feet on their own, first of all. So take a breath in, engage the tummy muscles. Inhale, lift your feet, point the toes away. Feel how the buttocks are engaging here, the glute muscles. And then exhale the legs back down. So this is strong for the back because the legs are quite heavy. So you're encouraging some strength through the back body here. Inhale. Exhale, lift the legs. Feel how the thighs are engaging here. Squeezing the buttocks. And then release. So we're ready to give it a go with both hands and feet. So keep your length in your neck here. Your forehead is either resting on the mat or towards the mat. And then as we lift our hands and our feet, your head will come away from the mat. So take a breath in. Then engage the tummy muscles. Exhale, both hands, both feet. Try not to find all that tension in your neck here. Sometimes we bring a load of tension into the jaw and then release it down. Well done. I'm just going to watch you have another go. So take a breath in. Engage your tummy muscles. Reaching the hands forward. Exhale, lifting both. Keeping that length through the neck. Well done. Brilliant. Release down. So let's try a little variation. Slide your hands alongside your body with your palms facing up. So the backs of the hands are resting down to the mat. That's it. Slide the hands back down behind you. That's it. And tops of the hands are resting on the mat. Take a breath in. This time, as you exhale, float your hands up behind you, float your feet behind you. So I'll just come back to show you, Di, what I'm doing. So this is the move. So it's like the Superman, Superwoman move. But you're keeping your gaze to the mat. And then release down. Let's try that once more. Release to the mat. Take a breath in. Lifting your feet and your hands at the same time. Your chest will come away from the mat, but you're still keeping that length. We're not sending the back of our head back towards the back of your shoulders, if you know what I mean. I keep saying about don't crunch the back of your neck. So lower yourself back down. Really good. Brilliant locust poses going on there. Just take a breath. Feel how strengthening that is for the back. So slide your hands back alongside your chest. Your palms are facing into the mat, and all 10 toes are in the mat. So your hands are alongside the chest. Inhale as you lift your chest away from the mat. So we're in low cobra here. We're just squeezing the shoulder blades together. If you engage your tummy muscles, can you feel how you're lifting your chest, lifting it up and away from the mat? And then exhale and release. Just let your head come down to the mat. Take a breath. Try that once more. So inhale, engage the tummy muscles, press the hands into the mat, bring the shoulders together, the elbows are tightly squeezing into your side, you're zipping up through the front body. Exhale down, Bhujangasana Cobra Pose. And then slide your hands forward just enough so that you can rest the lower arms on the mat. We're going to come up into Sphinx pose. So if your elbows are under your shoulders, it's a bit more intense on the back. So slide them forward if this doesn't feel good. So as you inhale, start to lift your chest, finding that length all the way from your belly button up to your chin. Sphinx pose, spread your fingers wide on the mat. And then exhale and release, and place one hand on top of the other. Rest your forehead down. Bring your heels in towards each other. You're in crocodile pose. Just relax here. Relax the backs of the shoulders. Relax the elbows. Feel the hips connect into the mat. Feel the insides of your heels connecting. Well done. Lots of back stretches. It's nice just to let go here. So bring your feet back in alignment. Bring your hands back to alongside your chest. And then as you inhale, bring yourself back up to all fours. And then release your legs out in front of you. We're going to come down to semi-supine. So we're going to do a little counter pose to all those back moves. So lying with your back connecting to the mat. Your hands alongside the body, palms facing down. And just observing what's happening with your lower back here. Are you arching it away? So if there's quite a big gap there, just tilt the pelvis up towards the ceiling and then tilt it away. Just rocking through the lower back. easing out. And then let the back just find its neutral position. Let it rest on the mat. Just going to change the light in here because I don't think you can see me. A bit better. Right, so from your semi-supine position, we're going to come up into bridge. So really connect your feet into the mat. Imagine you've got rockets strapped onto your thighs and the rockets are pointing away. So relax your shoulders down into the mat. Take a breath in. As you engage your tummy muscles, pressing the feet into the mat, shoot those rockets away. The thighs will lift and the back will come away from the mat. Coming into bridge pose. Breathe in. Breathe out and lay your back all the way down on the mat, one vertebra at a time. Just slowly does it. Breathe in. Breathe out, pressing the feet into the floor, shoot those rockets away. So we're just allowing our back to lift away from the mat with the extension of the thighs. The legs are doing all the work. The back's not doing anything here. We're just rolling it up and away from the mat. And then gently lowering it down. So let's add our arms in the next time. So we're back to our semi-supine. Take a breath in. Exhale, pressing the feet into the mat. Lift your hands up and overhead. Find that lovely stretch. So your palms are facing up here. And then release the back all the way down to the mat. Leave the hands where they are. Still finding that stretch. Take a breath in. Exhale, let the hands return to the mat. So we'll try that once more. And if you feel like it, when we get up into bridge with our hands extended, you might want to hold it for a few breaths. So inhale, feet into the mat, shoot the rockets away, let the back lift and away from the mat. Float your hands up and overhead. Reaching away through those fingertips. Feel that the feet are connected to the mat. If you want to come back down straight away, then by all means do. Otherwise, if this is feeling good, you can stay in this position for a few breaths. And then on your next exhalation, just let the back rest down onto the mat, one vertebra at a time. And then float the hands back to meet. I think we got time for one more variation. So bring your knees in so that they're quite close to each other now, and your feet, the insides of your feet are touching, your knees are touching. Hands are alongside your mat, palms facing down. Take a breath in. So plant your feet into the mat as you exhale. Shoot those thighs away. Lift yourself up into bridge, but with your knees connected this time. So as we're holding in this position, maybe on your next exhalation, you want to straighten your right leg. Keep your knees connected. Take a breath here. And then release the foot to the mat. Release the back all the way down. So it's strong on that bent leg. You feel it usually at the back of that leg into the hamstrings. So only do what's right for you. Taking a breath here before we switch to the other side. And then on your next inhalation, engage in your tummy muscles. Exhale, shoot the thighs away. Knees are still touching. Inhale, exhale the left leg out in front of you. So the knees are still connected. Feel how the right foot is really pressing into the mat and the right buttocks are engaged here. Take a breath. Release the foot. Release the back. Well done. So bring your knees up and over your chest as you inhale. And then as you exhale, just have a little rock from side to side. Apanasana. Just hugging those knees in towards your chest. Well done. And then allow the feet to come back to the mat. And slide them away. We'll have a few moments relaxation. I've made you work hard this morning. So if you want to get your blankets or your layers, and we'll just find a few moments in Shavasana. So lying out on your mat. Have your nose in line with your belly button. And really feel that length from the top of your head, down the back of the neck, down your spine. Feel that freedom in the spine of all that movement that we generated this morning. And just let your toes drop out to the side. Your palms facing up. Relax your shoulders. And just ease your head gently from side to side. Relax any tension in your neck. And then let your head return to the center. So breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Relaxing all the tension on your face, your jaw, your neck and your shoulders. Really feel the back connecting with the mat here. Relaxing the arms. Relaxing your hips. Relaxing the whole of the legs. Use that exhalation to sink into the mat. Letting go of all the tension. No stress, no anxiety. Just letting go. Take a few breaths here in silence. And then when you're ready, start to bring some movement back to your body. Excuse me. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. And just gently rock that head once more from side to side. And then return your head to center. Take a deep breath in, reach your hands up and overhead. Do a full body stretch. Point from your fingers to your toes. Relax your hands overhead. Inhale and bend your knees. Plant your feet on the floor. And as you exhale, roll over onto your right hand side. When you're ready, gently blink your eyes open and bring yourself back to a seated position. Lots of sun coming in the room this morning. So I hope everybody's feeling okay. Good. Let's just finish with our 3 breaths together. So take your hands out to the side. Inhale, reaching up and overhead. Exhale to the heart center. Inhale, reaching wide. Up and overhead. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Namaste. Have a lovely day, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that.